How was it to live in Germany during the war? Well, basically, I grew up in Berlin initially, a girls' high school, and then the bombing started. When actually before the war broke out, a few months only, there was a rule the Nazis had introduced where young people who finished high school could not go on to a third degree education, but had to do 1 year of manual work. Boys were put into country camps where they were sent out during the day to work on farms. And basically it was pre-military training. They used spades over their shoulders to carry, like a gun or whatever. And that was the idea, to get them introduced already to community life and a military outlook. The girls could go either into these country camps and work there in households, etc., or they could work wherever in the country or in the city, but for a family with 4 children. So I did both ways. So that was the outbreak of war, and then the first bomb attacks on Berlin. My father and I, we went the first night when there was the warning that planes were approaching. We went outside to watch the enemy planes in the sky, because the German anti-air guns, they were shooting at them, but usually they could not reach that height. The planes were clever in that they flew higher than the guns could reach them. That was the first night, and one could hear where the bombs were falling. But I think the second night we decided it was safer to go into the basement of the house, because that's where the people could only escape, in the basement of their houses. One of the younger generation of aristocrats was a doctor. He had studied medicine. He was actually like a GP, general doctor. And his story he wrote in German, of course, and it has never been translated into English, which is a great loss, because it's absolutely not brilliant, but I would say it's so basic and about human life that it should have been translated into all sorts of languages. It's called East German Diary. I'm translating. My first husband was transferred to Greece. He was in the German Navy. And he stayed there for 1.5 years without any holiday, let's say, without any break. I've later on, after the war, after he was killed, I was able to construct some, in hindsight, something why he did not get any leave, because he was due for leave 4 times a year. Now he was there for 1.5 years and never got any leave. But he was in charge of a group of a detachment, it's called, I think, of anti-aircraft for the Navy on ships to keep planes, British, Americans away.